Just give me a minute. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
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 Let's invoke auspiciousness by invoking prayers. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpa Taruvyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Namo Vasudevaya.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the old or new members before we begin today's session? From the previous class or even otherwise? Okay. So what did we see in the previous class? We are on chapter number
1.
Chapter 1. What is the title of chapter 1?
Karma Yoga. No.
Title of chapter 1.
No. Sorry.
Observing the armies on the battlefield
of courage.
Yes, observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Okay. So what did we see? Has Krishna spoken in the Bhagavad Gita yet?
No.
He has not yet spoken, but has he made his appearance in the Gita yet?
Yes.
Yes, he has made his appearance, isn't it? Which verse is it?
Mm, which,
It's all
sorry?
in which shloka,
15.
in which verse does Krishna make his first appearance in the Bhagavad Gita? On the previous class.
15.
What's
Hmm.
that, Krishna Kumar?
15.
15?
When he blew his conch shell.
Conch shell.
Okay. Anybody else wants to try? Huh?
Text 14.
Text 14. Yeah, actually it's text 14 because you see here, Krishna has made his appearance here. So he makes his appearance for the first time on chapter in shloka number 14. Now see, if you imagine, like a camera zooming in and out, the whole scene starts with Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is in his palace with Sanjaya. And then Sanjaya begins to describe the war. So then the camera is moving its focus to the battlefield. And there first the focus is on Duryodhan going to his teacher. And then Duryodhan begins to describe the warriors on the opposite side. So then the camera is moving towards the warriors on the side of the Pandavas. Then he begins to describe the warriors on his own side. So the camera is again focusing to the side of the Kauravas. So you see how to get a picture of what's going on, it'll be easy for you to imagine like that. So anyway, so Krishna makes his first appearance on 14. See, normally if you want to watch, when you see a Bollywood movie, the first appearance of the hero of the movie is an indication of what is the character of the hero. For example, if he's an action hero, it's an action film, then how will the first appearance of the action hero be in the movie? It'd be most probably in an action scene where he's coming to rescue probably the heroine, like that it is mostly. And if it's a romantic hero, then he will make his appearance as a young, youthful, energetic boy with chocolatey looks like that, So the first appearance of the hero in the movie is an indication of what kind of a person is the hero in the movie. So if you see Krishna's first appearance in the Bhagavad Gita is where is he sitting?
On the chariot of Arjuna's.
Yeah, he's sitting on the chariot. And what position has he taken?
He's a chariot man.
He's a chariot driver, isn't it? So it's a
Yeah.
subordinate position that he has taken. He's taken the role of a driver. His first appearance in the Bhagavad Gita is as a driver, as a subordinate position. So what does that indicate about Krishna? What does that indicate about Krishna?
He is a servant.
Servant of?
His
Arjuna.
devotee.
He is a servant, or he takes the position voluntarily, isn't it?
Voluntarily.
He's actually God, right? He is God, he's a supreme personality of Godhead, but he voluntarily takes a subordinate position. He voluntarily takes the position of a servant. So this is Krishna's first appearance. The camera is zooming in. The Krishna is, of course, the hero of the Bhagavad Gita. And when he makes his first appearance, then that indicates that how Krishna willingly takes the subordinate position for his devotees. So why does he take this subordinate position is because he loves his devotees. Okay. And of course, the devotees also love Krishna. So it's a very, very sweet relationship of the Lord and his devotees. Okay. Now in Shloka 8, I wanted to discuss. Here in verse 8, we discussed how when Duryodhan mentions the personalities on his own side, he fails to mention Krishna. So we discussed how because of his blindness, Duryodhan's blindness, he fails to see someone who is actually present. So he makes Krishna, who is present, as though he is absent on the battlefield. Now, is there any personality in this list who is actually not present, but he mentions him as though he is present on the battlefield?
Karna.
Karna, isn't it? Karna is not even present on the battlefield, but he mentions Karna. And where does he mention Karna? Immediately after great stalwarts warriors like Bhishma and Karna, immediately after Drona and Bhishma, he is mentioning the name of Karna.
Karna.
So you see, Karna is not even present. So he's mentioning Karna as if he is present on the battlefield, and that too at such a exalted place. He is placing him immediately after Bhishma and Dronacharya. So again, we see how what Duryodhan speaks here reveals his mind, right? He speaks, but he speaks the names of Karna, and it reveals the mind of Duryodhan. Yes, but sometimes what we speak reveals our mind, yes, but what we don't speak also reveals our mind. So he has failed to mention Krishna. That also reveals the mind of Duryodhan, how he sees Krishna as inconsequential, and how he mentions Karna, who's not been present, but he gives him a lot of importance. Okay, so what we speak reveals our mind, and what we don't speak also can reveal our mind. Okay, so these are a few things I wanted to discuss. Today we have to start from text 21. So text 21 marks the beginning of the conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. So now we begin with Arjuna Uvacha. The word Uvacha means said. So for Arjuna, for the first time, now he is going to speak in the Bhagavad Gita. And this marks the beginning of Arjuna Krishna Samvad. So this is the importance of this particular verse. Okay. Let's go to our presentation. Who can read today? Any volunteers to read, please?
Can I read?
Yeah, I heard two voices. I don't know who spoke first.
Okay, go ahead, Mataji, you can read.
Okay, Saket, was that you?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, okay.
Mataji, should I read the translation?
No, not yet. One second, I'll let him. Okay, so here we have verses 21 and 22 clubbed together.
उभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयमेच्युत यावदेतान्निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धुकामानवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे.
Now, yes, Saket.
Translation. Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms.
So Arjuna Krishna Samvad begins with Arjuna making a request to Krishna. And what is the request that he has? It is that he wants Krishna to take the chariot between the two armies. Now, remember the conch shells were all blown in the previous class. We saw how the conch shells have been blown. And so everybody is all set to fight. And Arjuna has no doubt whatsoever in his mind that he wants to fight the war. In fact, Arjuna had taken a vow that whoever tells me to put down my Gandiva, I will kill that person. So he was so determined to fight, Arjuna. Everything was all set, but now, there is a dramatic twist that now Arjuna suddenly he's saying that, please take my chariot between the two armies. So one is like, what for? What is the need? So anyway, Arjuna is now saying that, please draw my chariot between the two armies. And what is the reason he gives? The reason he gives is that, so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. So he wants to see who are the people who have gathered there, and with whom, and who are these people with whom now he has to fight, because there are many kings and warriors who have come from different kingdoms to support either of the two parties. So now he wants to see who are these people who have come to gather over there. By what name is Arjuna referring to Krishna in this verse?
Infallible one.
Yeah, so what is the name in Sanskrit?
Achyuta.
Achyuta, yes. What does that name Achyuta mean? We see here in synonyms, as Saket said, O infallible one. So what does that mean, infallible? One who never falls, okay, or one who never fails. So Achyuta means one who never fails, but Krishna never fails in what?
In fight?
In fight, okay. More answers?
In helping his devotees.
In helping his devotees, or in showing affection to his devotees. So actually, I forgot to come here. I should have started with this slide. This section is subtitled as Krishna as Bhakta Vatsala. Bhakta means devotee. Vatsala means the word Vats. Vatsala is a combination of two words, Vats and La. La means to bring. Vats means?
Who is near to the heart.
Yeah, Bhakta Vat. Okay. So Vatsala means one who's dear to the heart. But the word Vats, what is the literal meaning of the word Vats? When something is very dear to our heart, what do? If you give a child a toy which the child likes very much, immediately what will the child do?
Play with it.
Hug it. Hug it.
Hug it,
Hug.
isn't it? Hug it. So the child brings the toy close to the chest, isn't it? When something is very dear to us, immediately we'll bring the object close to our chest. No, the mother also hugs the child. So when the mother is feeling loving affection, she brings the child to the chest. So the word Vats means chest and La means to bring. So Vatsala means to bring close to the chest. So that means what? Bring close to the heart, because we know where the heart is situated. So Bhakta Vatsala means Krishna is that personality who keeps his devotees very close to him, very dear to his heart. Okay, that's Bhakta Vatsala. Now, what feature of Krishna? Why is this title Bhakta Vatsala? Why are we using the word Bhakta Vatsala here? What activity of Krishna is showing that he is Bhakta Vatsala?
Because he's riding the chariot of Arjuna. So he is.
Yes, exactly. He has taken the subordinate position of becoming the driver of Arjuna, isn't it? For the sake of his devotees. So that shows that Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. Okay. And therefore, so Arjuna knows that Krishna will never fail in affection towards him. So therefore, he is referring to Krishna as Achyuta. He is one who will never fail in affection to his devotees. Now, what could be the reason that Arjuna has asked Krishna to move the chariot amongst the armies? Srila Prabhupada explains in the pulpit that Arjuna was forced to fight against his wish. So it's not that Arjuna has gone into the war because Arjuna wants to go into the war, right? It's against his wish, but he had to do it because of the circumstances, because of Duryodhana's obstinacy. Remember, Duryodhana was not ready to give him even 5 villages. And then the other reason, anxious. He was anxious to see who were the leading men who have come with a desire to fight to please Duryodhana. See, birds of the same feather flock together, isn't it? So Duryodhana is evil-minded. So those who have come to support Duryodhana, they also must be evil-minded. So therefore, he's anxious to see who are those people who have come to support Duryodhana, and to see how much they were bent upon fighting. Then to estimate the strength which he had to face. So he wants to see what are the kind of warriors that he has to face and what is their strength, So as a warrior, he wants to estimate the strength, although he is confident of victory. There is no doubt in Arjuna's mind that he is going to emerge victorious at the end of the war because he has full faith in Krishna. There was no question of a peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield. So there is no question of peacemaking endeavor. Why? Because Krishna has already gone before the war as a peace messenger, asking only for 5 villages. So they did not accept. The Kauravas did not accept. Therefore, now there is no question of any peacemaking endeavor. Okay, let's go to 23.
योत्स्यमानानवेक्षेऽहं य एतेऽत्र समागताः धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेः युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः.
Translation. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra.
So Arjuna continues to speak. See, in the previous verse, we saw Arjuna Uvacha, which means Arjuna speaks. Now there is no Uvacha. So who is speaking the verse? The one who was the last speaker, he continues to speak. Okay, so Arjuna continues to speak here. What is Arjuna saying? That he wants to see who have come here to fight, wishing to please whom? See how he's referring to the son of Dhritarashtra. Who's the son of Dhritarashtra?
Duryodhana.
Duryodhana. So he's saying who have come to please the evil-minded Duryodhana. So he's seeing Duryodhana as Durbuddher. And Duryodhana here is referred to as Dhartarashtrasya. Dhartarashtrasya means the son of Dhritarashtra. Okay. So see, again, as we discussed earlier, because he is referring to Duryodhana as Durbuddher, evil-minded, obviously he is thinking that those who have come to support him, they are also evil-minded. 24.
Sanjaya Uvacha Evamukto Hrishikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Senayorubhayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam.
Translation?
Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties.
So who is speaking this verse?
Sanjaya.
Sanjaya is speaking it to?
Dhritarashtra.
Yes. So he is now describing the scene to Dhritarashtra. So what is Sanjaya saying? That after Arjuna said this to Krishna, what did Krishna do? He drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. So Krishna is following the instruction of Arjuna. See, this Arjuna-Krishna Samvad begins by Arjuna telling Krishna, you do what I want you to do. Because Arjuna told Krishna, take my chariot in the middle of the battlefield, and Krishna follows his instruction and he does it. So this Samvad begins with Arjuna telling Krishna, you do what I want. And it ends with, in the 18th chapter, you will see at the end, Arjuna tells Krishna, okay, so because Krishna speaks the Bhagavad Gita, and then Arjuna accepts the instructions of Krishna. And therefore, then Arjuna tells Krishna that, yes, I will do whatever you want me to do. So this is how it starts and this is how it ends. Okay. By what name is Arjuna referred to in this verse?
Gudakesha.
Gudakesha. What does that name Gudakesha mean?
Conqueror of sleep.
Conqueror of sleep. Now, does that mean that Arjuna doesn't sleep? What does that actually mean?
Conqueror of ignorance.
Exactly, conqueror of ignorance. Because one who is in the mode of ignorance or in tamoguna, one of the characteristics of that person is that he loves to sleep. So here, when Arjuna is referred to as Gudakeshana, it means that Arjuna is one who has conquered ignorance. Arjuna is not in the mode of ignorance. In which mode is Arjuna? Is he in the mode of goodness, mode of passion, or mode of ignorance? Or he is beyond the three?
Beyond the three.
He's beyond the three modes, because remember, Arjuna is a pure devotee. He's even beyond the mode of goodness. He's in the mode of transcendental goodness. It's called as a Shuddha Sattva stage. He's not in the Sattva Guna, he's in the Shuddha Sattva stage. So, of course, he's much beyond ignorance. By what name is Krishna referred to here?
Rishikesh,
Rishikesha. What does that name mean?
master of senses.
Master of the senses. So why is Krishna referred to here as a master of the senses? Because Krishna is a master of the senses, he understands what is going on in Arjuna's mind. He knows very well what is Arjuna thinking. So he can understand Arjuna's purpose, why he wants him to draw the chariot between the two armies. See, something like this, the scene is. You can see the 4 horses, Krishna and Arjuna on the chariot, and you can see the flag with Hanuman. In the previous class, we discussed signs of victory. Is there anything in this photo which is an indication of a sign of victory, but we did not discuss it in the previous class? Because it is not mentioned in the verses, we did not discuss it. But is there something in the photo that is an indication of the sign of victory? What are we missing?
No, sir.
Anybody can take a guess? It's very obvious. Arjuna is actually famous for that.
He analyzes the situation.
Okay, what is this?
The bow and arrow.
What is Arjuna's bow called?
Gandhirva.
Yes. Is it an ordinary bow?
No.
Who gave it to him?
Okay.
Fire god given by the Agnidev.
No,
Yes.
Vayudev.
Vayudev. Yeah. Wait. It's actually, the thing is, Varun Dev gave it to Arjuna upon the instruction of Agnidev. So it was a joint venture, so to speak. Okay, so here is another beautiful picture where Krishna has drawn the chariot between the two armies. You can see the vast armies here. The description given is that as far as you could see, the armies were there. You could not see the last man in the army. So many people were there on the battlefield. And here he is right in the middle. So now Krishna is going to follow the instruction. Where is that? Yeah, 25.
भीष्मद्रोणप्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्येताम् समवेतान् कुरूनिति.
Translation. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold Partha, all the Kurus assembled here.
So this is the first time that Krishna is speaking in the Bhagavad Gita. And how much does he speak? Is he speaking an entire verse? No. Krishna is speaking only one line in this verse. What is the one line that Krishna is speaking? Just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here. Just behold means just see. So what Krishna is doing here is, see, there are so many warriors, hundreds and thousands of warriors are there on the battlefield. And where does Krishna exactly station his chariot? Bhishma Drona Pramukhataha. Right in front of where Bhishma and Drona are there in the army. That's where Krishna takes and he stations the chariot. Why do you think he does that?
Because he wanted Arjuna to take the blessings of Bhishma and Dronacharya.
Okay, anybody else wants to try?
Because he was grandfather of Arjuna.
Okay. Anybody else?
He wants Arjuna to see Bhishma Pita and Dronacharya.
He purposely wants him to see Bhishma and Drona, but why?
So that he may get confused and ask the Gita Gyan.
Exactly. So that very nice. So that he gets confused, and then the stage is set for Krishna to speak the Bhagavad Gita. Very nice. So see, we know that Krishna already knows that Arjuna is going to say that he doesn't want to fight, right? Krishna already knows what is going to happen. He knows past, present, and future. So by bringing the chariot right in front of Bhishma and Drona, he's speeding up the process, so that quickly he can get into illusion, and quickly he can. So the stage is set for Krishna to speak the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna very intelligently places the chariot right where Bhishma and Drona are present. By what name is Krishna mentioned in this verse?
Partha.
Partha. What does the word Partha mean?
Friend.
No.
No.
Is there in the synonyms?
Son of
Son of Pritha. Yes,
Pritha.
Pritha is another name of Kunti. So Krishna is referring to him as Partha, son of Pritha. So what does that indicate? It indicates that actually, Arjuna, I am pulling your chariot because you are the son of Pritha. Because he is his, very dear to him. He's actually his. So he's saying, because you are Partha and you belong to such a great family, therefore I am pulling this chariot for you. Is Krishna going to pull the chariot of Duryodhana?
No.
No. Why? Because Duryodhana is not a devotee, right?
Devotee. But what is Pritha?
Pritha is a name of Kunti.
Okay.
Therefore, he is called as Partha. Let's go to 26.
Tatra pasya sthitan partha pitrunatha pitamahan acharyan matulan bhratrun putran pautran sakhinstatha shvashuran suhridaschaiva senayorubhayorapi.
Translation. There Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers.
So what is Arjuna seeing now? He's seeing in the midst of both the parties. So he's looking at both the parties, okay? He's not only looking at one. So both the parties he's seeing. What is he seeing? Fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, fathers-in-law, and well-wishers. So who are actually these people? Here is a list. So see, he's not differentiating between his own brother and the sons of Dhritarashtra. He's not differentiating between his son and the son of Duryodhana, because he's seeing his sons on both the sides. You see, this is in sharp contrast to how Dhritarashtra was seeing the sons of Pandu. How Dhritarashtra, in the first verse, we discussed how Dhritarashtra is differentiating between his own sons and the sons of Pandu. Whereas Shastra says that you do not differentiate between your children and the children of your brothers. So see, Arjuna is not differentiating. He is seeing in both the parties, he is seeing brothers, seeing sons, grandsons, right? So he is not differentiating like how Dhritarashtra was differentiating. So here is a list. Let's read this list, Sakit.
Fathers, contemporaries. Bhurishwara, grandfathers, Bhishma and Somadatta, teachers, Dronacharya and Kripacharya, maternal uncles, Salva and Sakuni, brothers, Duryodhana, Vikarna and others, sons, Lakshman Kumar and others, friends, Ashwathama, fathers-in-law, Drupada, well-wishers, Kritavarma. This word best implies to Krishna. Shantanu, Bahlika, Shantanu's elder brother, Bhishma, Chitrangada, Vichitravirya, Somadatta, Dhritarashtra, Pandu, Bhurishwara, Duryodhan plus brothers, 5 Pandavas.
So this actually indicates, because see, Shantanu is the father of Bhishma Dev, And Shantanu's brother was Balika. So he was also there in the war. So it's like, that generation here, the corresponding generation here. Balika's son was Somadatta and Somadatta's son was Bhurishwara. So Bhurishwara is on the level of Dhritarashtra and Pandu, like that. So you can see all these people he is seeing. Who is actually giving this list in the Mahabharata?
Krishna is giving.
Krishna is giving? Who is the
think
To
speaker of
Arjun.
this?
Must be Sanjay here because he was
Sanjaya,
the
exactly. It is Sanjaya who is giving this list because Sanjaya is describing to Dhritarashtra what is it that Arjuna is saying. Later, Arjuna himself will again repeat the list. At that time, Arjuna himself will speak. This is spoken by Sanjaya. So, this is a 6th generation get together. Okay, 6 generations have come together. See, even grandsons are there. Here, he mentions even grandsons. So the names are not there. We don't have the names of the grandsons. But yes, Abhimanyu's child was still in the womb. But there were others on the Kaurava side. There were even grandsons were present on the battlefield. So 6 generations have come together. And this is actually a very joyful occasion that 6 generations have gathered. But it has turned into a very, very grievous occasion because of the circumstances. Okay. 27.
कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धूनवस्थितान् कृपया परयाविष्टो विषीदन्निदमब्रवीत्
Translation. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus.
So, starting from this verse, we will see Arjuna's reasons why he does not want to fight the war. And they are broadly categorized into 5. So, the first of the 5 reasons is compassion. See here, he is becoming overwhelmed with compassion. Why? Because what did he see? What is he seeing? He's seeing all these different grades of friends and relatives. He's seeing everybody as his own people now. See, he's seeing them as Sarvan. Everyone is Bandhun. Everybody is his family. Everybody are his relatives. Previously, how he was seeing Durbuddher, he said, no, the evil-minded sons of, who have come to support the evil-minded son of Duryodhan. Now, he is seeing everybody as Bandhun. Now, he is seeing everybody as relatives. Now, that conception of evil-mindedness has gone. And now, he's seeing everybody as his own family. And because he's seeing everybody as his own family, now he's becoming overwhelmed with compassion. Kripaya. See the word here, kripaya. So he's feeling compassion. How much kripaya? Paraya, of a high grade, lot of compassion. And that compassion is so much that avishto. Avishto means he's becoming completely overwhelmed by seeing that. So here we have the 5 categories. First reason is compassion. And as we proceed, we will see the reasons. Okay, so this compassion reason continues in this verse and the upcoming verses.
Arjuna uvacha drishtvam swajanam Krishna yuyutsum samupasthitam sidanti mama gatrani mukham cha parishushyati.
Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up."
So what is the result of his feeling compassion? Now it's beginning to affect him physically, right? The limbs of his body are quivering and his mouth is drying up. So it's having an effect on his physical body. Again, he is seeing everybody as friends and relatives. He uses the word swa janam, drishtve mam. Drishtve means drishti. After he sees, ma means I. So after I see, swa janam, he's saying, after I see all these my own people, all my relatives, my own people, my friends, then what's happening to him? The body is physically beginning to react. So we read about Pratyaksha Praman in the first class. What is Pratyaksha Praman? Is when we gather information through the senses. Now Arjuna has seen, right? So through his vision, through his eyes, he has gathered some information. What is the information that he has gathered? That all these are my own people. So he's using Pratyaksha Praman. So say by using this Pratyaksha Praman, he has come under illusion. You see how he was all set to fight and fulfill the duties of a Kshatriya, fulfill the instruction of Krishna, please God Krishna. But now Pratyaksha Praman has put Arjuna under illusion. But did Arjuna come out of this illusion? Yes, he did come out of the illusion because he took the shelter of Shabda Praman. Because he surrendered to Krishna, he asked Krishna, please instruct me, please guide me. What is it that I should do? Therefore, now Shabda has taken him out of illusion. So we discussed how Shabda is most important, isn't it? So we see how Shabda took Arjuna out of illusion, but Pratyaksha actually put him under illusion. Now, that doesn't mean that we should never rely on Pratyaksha Praman. For example, if I see somebody cheating in an exam, I will not say, oh, I saw him cheating, but Pratyaksha Praman, I cannot rely, therefore he did not cheat. No. It can be a valid reason to acquire knowledge, but it is not the only reason. Okay, not the only reason. So therefore, Shabda is always more important than Pratyaksha. So Pratyaksha should be subordinate to Shabda Praman. Do not treat Pratyaksha Praman as all important. It may also be incorrect. So here, as we discussed, Arjuna was under illusion, but he came out of illusion because he took the shelter of Shabda Praman. Can you identify the people on the picture here, the second picture on the right?
Kaikai.
Kaikai and
Mandodari. No.
Mandodari.
Not Mandodari.
No, Mandodari. Mantra.
Manthara, yes.
Manthara.
What does the name Manthara mean?
Manthara.
Who churns?
One who churns, yes, very nice. Churns what?
Churns your mind with her talks.
Churns the mind, yes. Man means mind and Manthana means to churn. So Mantra is that person who churned the mind of Kaikai. So see, Kaikai also used Shabda Praman, right? Now she using the sense of hearing. So she also used Pratyaksha Praman, I'm sorry. But did she come out of illusion?
Yeah.
Kaikai came out of illusion?
But very late.
Much later after she already took the rash decision, isn't it?
Yeah,
she did not consult a superior authority on what is right and what is wrong. So therefore it led her, because she did not take the shelter of Shabda Praman before she took that rash decision of sending Ram to the forest. Therefore now Pratyaksha has led to injustice in the kingdom, isn't it? So it's always important when we are in doubt. It's always important to take the advice of a superior authority. Always take the guidance from Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. If we don't do that, then we will not be able to come out of illusion and we will end up taking the wrong decisions. So when Arjuna was overwhelmed by Pratyaksha, he consulted Shabda. On the other hand, Kaikai acted upon Pratyaksha without consulting anyone for the result. She failed to attain a proper understanding and took an unfair decision. 29.
वेपथुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते गाण्डीवं सृंसते हस्तात् त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते.
Translation. My whole body is trembling. My hair is standing on end. My bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand and my skin is burning.
So the physical symptoms continue here. He says that his body is trembling, his hair is standing on end. His bow Gandiva is also slipping from his hand. Remember, he had taken the vow that anybody who tells me to put my Gandiva down, I will kill him. But now, even though he does not want it, the Gandiva is starting to slip down from his hand. See, when we are very shocked, or when we are very much in anxiety, then we lose our physical capabilities. In Bollywood movies, you'll see, there's some shocking news and the woman will drop the plate or drop the puja thali, like that. So this is what is happening with Arjuna. Gandiva is slipping from his hand, and he says that his skin is burning. Now, for Arjuna, for a Kshatriya of a caliber of Arjuna to go through this it shows that it's a very, very terrible situation for Arjuna. Normally, the men are not so emotionally inclined that, they lose their physical capabilities because they are in anxiety. Usually, it's the women who are more emotionally inclined than men. Psychology says that. So Arjuna is a man. Now he's not an ordinary person. He's belonging to a royal family, and he's a Kshatriya, and he's the best warrior on the planet. And still he's experiencing that the Gandiva is slipping from his hand, and he's not able to keep it on him. Now, the Nectar of Devotion, which is a book, it's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's a book written by Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami is a direct disciple of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna himself, who appeared some 500 years ago in the mood of Srimati Radharani. In fact, Sri Mayapur Dham is the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Srila Rupa Goswami writes in his Nectar of Devotion that there are ecstatic symptoms of love of God. When one is feeling a lot of ecstasy in pure love of God, then there are some symptoms that show on that person. What are those 8 symptoms? Let's read points 1 to 8, Saket.
Inertness, perspiration, standing of hairs on one end, failing in the voice, trembling of the body, paleness of the body, tears in the eyes, trance.
So these are the symptoms that one feels when one is highly ecstatic spiritually. Okay. Now, Arjuna has displayed 4 out of these 8 symptoms. Right? He is also saying that his body is trembling, hair is standing on him. I'm sorry, 2 out of the 8. But he's also feeling the other symptoms of skin is burning and Gandiva is slipping from his hands. Now, this body trembling and hair standing on end could happen in 2 occasions. One is great spiritual ecstasy, which we saw in the previous slide, and the other is distressed material condition. Now, which of the 2 options applies to Arjuna? Is he feeling spiritual ecstasy or is he feeling distressed material condition?
Distress.
Material condition.
Distressed material condition. So that means now he's on the material platform. Now, we have to remember throughout the course, okay, that Arjuna actually, he is a pure devotee and he is never on a material platform. He is put in this situation by the Lord so that the Bhagavad Gita can be spoken. So this is like a stage play, like a drama, okay. Never is Arjuna going to be on the material platform. This is just for us to get this knowledge that this whole drama was played out. Okay, 30.
न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव.
I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune. O Krishna, killer of the Kesi demon.
So previously we saw his physical distress. Now after physical, now even mentally he is being in distress. So he's saying my mind is reeling. I am forgetting myself. So now even mentally he is distressed. Okay. And what is he seeing? He is seeing everything as only misfortune. He sees that there's no good fortune that is going to come from this war. See, he's using the word viparitani. Viparita means he's just the opposite, which means there is nothing auspicious that is going to come out of the war, he's saying. By what name is he referring to Krishna here?
Keshava.
Keshava. Keshava. It means killer of the Keshi. So why is he referring to Krishna as Keshava here? What is the reason? What could be the reason?
Maybe what he said, that I can see only cause of misfortune.
Okay, so what the word Keshava can do here? What's the context? See, when we call somebody by a particular name, it has a particular effect on the person we are calling out to, and also it reveals the mind of the person who's calling out the name. For example, if I call someone my dear friend, so it reveals what I think about the person, and also it has a nice positive effect on that person whom I'm calling out to. But if I refer to someone as, oh, you foolish man, So then it has another effect on that person, and it also reveals what I'm thinking about the person, isn't it? So whenever Arjuna and Krishna call each other by different names, there is a reason behind it. So why Keshava here? What is the context?
Only he feels there will be a lot of death and on both ends.
Okay, your voice is breaking. I couldn't get you.
Maybe he feels on both the end there will be a lot of death, people lives lost because of that.
Okay, anybody else wants to try?
I was doing number 2.
He
अंदर नहीं
wants
गई
to
ये
kill
potty.
demons.
Refresh नहीं
Keshava
करना, पानी
means?
बाहर आ जाएगा.
Keshava means?
Killer of
The killer
Keshi.
of the
Killer of
demons.
Killer of
Keshi
Keshi
demon.
demon, isn't it? So
Yeah.
because
Yes.
Krishna is the killer of a demon,
ये आ रहा है?
okay, therefore now
इस महीने आए नहीं ना?
Arjuna. Okay, Shivani, you need to mute, please. Okay. So because Krishna is the killer of a demon and Arjuna now has doubts in his mind, he's referring to Krishna as Keshava, indicating that you can kill the demon like doubts in my mind. So that's the context here. Okay. Let's read this, Saket.
Arjuna's further symptoms. Unable to stand any longer, forgetting himself, mind is reeling. Excessive material attachment leads to mental weakness, which in turn leads to forgetfulness. Arjuna sees only misfortune, thinks that victory will only bring lamentation. He is unhappy because he sees his own self-interest instead of submitting to the will of Krishna.
So we see now Krishna is unhappy. You can see how, Arjuna is unhappy. You can see how Arjuna is feeling so miserable, no, physically, mentally. So what is the reason here is because his excessive material attachment to the bodily relations has now led to his mental weakness. He says, no, that I'm not able to, what's the exact word? He says, my mind is reeling and I'm forgetting myself. So that excessive material attachment has led to his mental weakness. And that in turn led to forgetfulness. What has Arjuna forgotten? What is the most important duty?
His duty is to fight against the Kauravas.
Is to fight. Why he has to fight?
The
Why he
Kshatriya?
has to fight? Because he's a Kshatriya. Is there a reason greater than that?
To establish the, what do you say? The dharma.
Okay. Is there a reason greater than that? Higher than that?
Because the insult which Duryodhan and Dushashan did in the court to Draupadi.
Okay. Anything higher
And
than
they
that?
have taken he had taken the vow to destroy them.
Okay.
Because
Anything
Krishna
more
wants
important?
Krishna wants him to fight.
Exactly. Bottom line is that's what Krishna desires. So at the end of it, we want to do what pleases the Lord, isn't it? Because when the Lord is pleased, automatically we are also happy. If the Lord is happy, we are also automatically happy. We cannot enjoy independently from God. Just as how if there's a rich man and he has a son, if the son is with the rich father, he's going to live a comfortable life. But if the son decides, okay, I'm going to walk out of the house, then he's going, trying to, because he's still unintelligent, he's still very young, does not still have the maturity. He separates from his father. And then what happens? There is suffering. But when this lost son is reunited with his father, then again, now the son is going to be happy. So we have lost our relationship with God, our Father. Therefore, we suffer. But if we can revive our relationship with God, then we will be happy. Just as how when we water a tree, we don't have to water the leaves, the fruits, the branches separately. We just water the root and the water is automatically distributed to all parts of the tree, isn't it? So when we please the Lord by doing what the Lord wants us to do, then automatically we will also be happy. We don't have to independently enjoy. We cannot independently enjoy. Just as how we do not independently water the leaves or the fruits or the branches. We just water the root and that's it. In the same way, when the Lord is pleased, then we are also happy. So Arjuna is suffering here because he wants to do something that is against what Krishna desires him to do. Therefore, his pathetic material physical and mental condition. Another example is when we eat food, the food goes to the stomach, but the energy is distributed to all parts of the body. We are not separately putting food through the ears, through the nose. No, we just put it through the mouth, it goes to the stomach, and the energy is distributed to all parts of the body. So here is a summary of what Arjuna is feeling. And just look at Arjuna's condition here. His Gandiva is down. Look at his quiver of the arrows, and you can see such pathetic condition of Arjuna. For that to a Kshatriya of his caliber. Let's read this.
Carpet 1.30. Everyone is interested in himself and his own welfare. No one is interested in the supreme self. One's real self-interest lies in Vishnu or Krishna. The conditioned soul forgets this and therefore suffers material pains. Arjuna thought that victory in the battle would only be a cause of lamentation for him. Arjuna is showing ignorance of his real self-interest by Krishna's will.
So Arjuna is showing ignorance of the real self-interest. His real self-interest and the real self-interest of all living entities is just to do the will of the Lord. See, every living entity generally thinks about himself and his own welfare. Therefore, there is suffering. But the real interest of every living entity, because we are parts and parcels of the Lord, is to please the Lord, Krishna or Vishnu Tattva. So this we have to remember. As long as we are serving the Lord, when we serve the Lord is because we love the Lord. We are not going to serve someone we don't love. So service itself is an indication that we love the Lord and we please the Lord. Therefore, the Lord automatically will take care of us. Just like he has done to so many devotees. He did to Arjuna, he did to Prahlad, he did to Dhruv. So many examples are there in the Bhagavatam. See, we may have a lot of material achievements. We may be the richest person on the planet, but still that achievement is only a zero. We may be the most beautiful, the most good-looking person on the planet. That achievement also is a zero. We may be the most intelligent person, the most intellectual, the one with the highest IQ on the planet. Still, that is a zero. So whatever we achieve, or we may be the most famous personality. Nobody is more famous. The greatest number of followers we have on social media. Still, what is the use of that achievement if we are not going to use it to please the Lord? So whatever we achieve materially is just zeros. We are only accumulating more and more zeros when we accumulate more and more material achievements. But when we bring the Lord in the center of our lives, when we use our talents, our wealth, our beauty, our intelligence in the service of the Lord, now there is meaning to all those zeros because now we are adding a 1 before the zeros. Srila Prabhupada explains this in the pulpit. When we throw a stone on still water, then it creates concentric circles. Never will one concentric circle clash with another concentric circles. So when we put one center in the life, that's Krishna, or when we put the Lord in the center of our lives, then there is no clash. Then everything else is taken care of. Our finances, our family, our relationships, our jobs, the boss, children, everything is automatically taken care of. Never the concentric circles are going to clash. Never will there be a clash of interest in any other field. But when we try to throw many stones on that still water, then many concentric circles are formed and these concentric circles start to clash with each other. So when we have too many centers, when we give equal importance to even money and even to wealth and even to family, even to relationships, then there is going to be a clash. So we have to use our intelligence and see whom we are going to put in the center of our lives. So this is, of course, Keshava, expected to remove Arjuna's demon-like doubts from the puppet. Now, question. Would Arjuna have been better off not going on to the middle of the battlefield? Let's take a poll. What do you think? You can answer the poll. Because we saw when Arjuna went to the middle of the battlefield, now you can see his condition. He's physically weak, mentally upset. So was it a poor choice to go to the middle of the battlefield? Would it have been better if he had not gone to the battlefield? Yes or no? Please answer. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So what is your take on this? Yes or no? Actually, I launched the poll here. I think you're not able to see the poll on the screen.
I can see the poll and I polled already.
Oh, you poll already, because I get here that 0% participated.
No.
I also polled.
Even I also polled.
No, actually you have to
Everybody
submit.
sang Mataji.
You have to submit after that.
Yeah, I submitted.
Yeah, we also submitted.
Well, I get here 0 of 38% have participated. Okay, so shall I end the poll?
Yeah, because we have done already.
We've already done.
Okay, I don't know why I get this. Okay, I'm ending the poll now. And I'm sharing the results. Can you all see the results?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I cannot see it on my screen.
It's 69% no,
Yeah.
17% said yes, and 14% both yes and no.
Okay, so those who said yes, why do you think so?
Because by coming to the middle of the battlefield only, he was able to see all these people together. Had he not seen them, he would only seeing only the front of him. Doubt would not have come in.
Your voice is breaking, Krishna Kumar. I'm not able to understand properly.
Because he came to the middle of the battlefield that he could see both people from his side and other Kauravas. Had it been only on one side and he could only see the person who is in front, which would be the Kauravas, and he was anyway angry with them to kill them. So he wouldn't have taken this.
So therefore, he would have been better off if he had not gone to the middle, you're saying. Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to have awakening, Mataji, so that everyone could hear what Lord Krishna has to say.
But Arjuna doesn't know that Krishna is going to speak the Gita, or probably he does. I don't know. Does Arjuna?
If he hadn't,
because Arjuna has been put under illusion by Krishna.
exactly.
More perspectives?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I think it's good that he was taken there, because only after that he got under illusion and Lord spoke the Bhagavad Gita to him.
Yeah, because he went there in the middle of the armies, therefore it facilitated that Krishna can speak the Bhagavad Gita. Very nice. Anybody else wants to add anything?
I wanted to say, yeah, of course, he went to the middle. That's why the Gita is spoken. Apart from that, we saw he was trembling and all this confusion. It is good that he cleared everything before the war. Otherwise, if he went in the middle of the war, he could have another situation. And that time, it will be difficult for Krishna to convince him.
So he probably would have been overwhelmed later. In the middle of the war, he probably would have felt compassionate and felt overwhelmed, you're saying. But now in the middle of the war, he's not going to feel overwhelmed because he's already received the knowledge of the Gita. Very interesting.
Right.
Okay. Anybody else wants to say anything? Okay, let's see what we have here. Immediately, maybe not. He might have avoided the agony or postponed it till later, as Ranjit just now said. So immediately, maybe yes or maybe no. We don't know, because probably later he could have felt also compassion. But for the long run, ultimately no, because by doing what he did, he got the Gita wisdom. And not only he got this wisdom of the Gita, all of us, all of humanity has got this wisdom. Okay. Let's go to 31.
न च श्रेयोनुपश्यामि हत्वा स्वजनमाहवे न काङ्क्षे विजयं कृष्ण न च राज्यं सुखानि च
Translation: I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness.
Okay, so this is the second reason why Arjuna does not want to fight the war, which is enjoyment. He is thinking that he will not be able to enjoy the kingdom after he wins the war. So first reason was compassion. Now that is done with the previous verse. And now second reason from now onwards, we'll see enjoyment reason. So he's saying that I do not see how any good can come after I kill my own kinsman. So again, he's thinking of his own benefit. He's not thinking about what is going to please the Lord. So say one lesson that we get here is Arjuna saying, I do not see how any good can come. So he's saying, I cannot understand how anything good can come. So sometimes there are things that we also cannot understand why something is going on, or why does the Shastra say this? I'm not able to understand this. So just because I am not able to understand something, it does not mean that it makes no sense. It makes sense. It's just that I do not have the intelligence to understand it. This is another lesson, that important lesson that we have to use in our own personal lives. That which is incomprehensible is not necessarily insensible. There are many things that we cannot understand, but it only means that I do not have the sufficient intelligence to understand it. It doesn't mean that that thing does not make any sense or that is false. So Srila Prabhupada gives this analogy in the purport that Arjuna saying that I don't want to fight this war because I will not enjoy after the winning of the war. It's like a cook saying that I'm not going to cook because I am not hungry. It's not about the cook being hungry or no. It's not about Arjuna who's going to feel happiness or no. That's not important. That's not of prime importance. That doesn't matter. He just has to do his duty. And here, see, Arjuna uses the word Shreyas, Shreyo. So Shreyo means that which gives you long-term benefit. So there are two words in Sanskrit, Shreyas and Preyas. Let's understand these meanings. What is Preyas and what is Shreyas? Let's read, Saket.
Activities which give immediate result benefit are general activities, Preyas and Shreyas.
So on the left side, we will see what is Preyas. Okay, so Preyas is activities which give immediate result, benefit. And Shreyas is?
Activities which give ultimate result or benefit.
So which is more important?
Shreyas.
Shreyas is more important, isn't it? Because see, sometimes if let's say one is diseased and one has to take a bitter medicine. So Preyas says immediately it may be giving me it's a bitter medicine, so I don't like the taste in my mouth, so I don't like it. That's the immediate effect of taking the medicine. But for my long term, it's good because I will be cured of the disease. So I should think of the bitter medicine that tastes in my mouth now, or I should think that no, I have to take the bitter medicine because I'm going to be cured of the disease in the long run. What I should be more focused on is Shreyas, isn't it? Because I want to be cured of the disease. So Arjuna is saying that I don't see any Shreyas. He's saying I don't see any long-term benefit by fighting this war and killing my own people. Okay, Preyas.
People act in such a way that they derive immediate happiness but disregard the future.
Shreyas?
It is the ultimate goal. People act in such a way that ultimately they will become happy.
Preyas?
Appears pleasing immediately, but it will be a source of great displeasure at the end.
Yeah, appears pleasing immediately. So immediately I don't take the bitter medicine. Okay, I'm happy. I don't have to take the bitter medicine. But ultimately it is going to bring me displeasure because then the disease is going to manifest even more strongly. Shreyas?
Appears unpleasant in the beginning, but brings great pleasure later.
Later. Okay.
Preyas?
The pleasure is received by temporary sense gratification.
Shreyas?
The pleasure is received by sacrificing immediate gains in favor of long-term spiritual ones.
See, when we take to spirituality, when we accept a bona fide spiritual master, then immediately we may feel that, oh, there are so many problems. No, I cannot enjoy, I cannot eat meat, I cannot, go out with my friends, intoxicate myself, feel high on drugs. All that is personal sense gratification. But there are rules and regulations that I have to follow. I have to meditate, I have to chant my rounds. I have to offer my food. I cannot immediately eat whatever I want to eat. So that is causing immediate, it may cause some discomfort, but for my long run it is good, because that it helps me advance spiritually and attain the goal of human life, which is to go back home, back to Godhead. Prayers?
People are in the bodily concept of life.
Yeah, people who are in the bodily concept of life, they are more focused on prayers, that which will make me enjoy materially. What are my bodily comforts? What is that movie? Zindagi na milegi dobara. So do what you want to just enjoy yourself. No? But Shreyas, people have spiritual understanding. Next, Prayers?
Prayers in unintelligent is for unintelligent people and children. Prayers is for the most intelligent people.
See, mostly children are, what is the mentality of a child, or what will give me benefit immediately, that I will do. I like to watch TV, I don't want to study. But a more mature student, after the child grows, then the child, understands that, I have an exam, so I have to study. Therefore, I should not watch so much television or not watch any television. My exams are going on. So the more intelligent people will choose Shreyas, the less intelligent people will choose Prayers. So 32, 33, 34, 35 are clubbed together, and then we will end with this.
Kim no rajyena govinda, kim bhogairjivitena va, yeshamarthe kanchitam no, rajyam bhogas sukhani cha, taimeva sthita yuddhe, pranam styaktva dhanani cha. आचार्याः पितरः पुत्राः तथैव च पितामहाः मातुलाः श्वशुराः पौत्राः श्यालाः सम्बन्धिनस्तथा एतान् न हन्तुमिच्छामि घ्नतोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्यराज्यस्य हेतोः किं नु महि कृते निहत्य धार्तराष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीतिः स्यात् जनार्दन.
Translation. O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them, even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra?
So this is again the enjoyment reason that continues from verses 32 to 35. And he's saying that what are we going to get by this kingdom? There is no happiness. He's saying, so he's not going to enjoy the kingdom. See, just like how let's say a child gets a cup in school. Immediately the child is eager to go home and show the cup to his parents, no? Because he wants someone to show it, like, look, I got this. But if the child has no one at home and he's an orphan, and there's nobody, there's nobody who's taking care of him. So he gets the cup also. There is nobody with whom he's going to share the joy. So this is what is Arjuna's mindset, that even after I get the kingdom, everybody is going to be dead. So what is the use of getting that kingdom? Because with whom am I going to share the joy of having won the war or having won the kingdom? So this is what is Arjuna thinking. And now he goes on to list all the fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, etc., etc. So this previously was listed by Sanjaya, which we previously saw earlier in the class. And now he himself is listing all these people that he is seeing. And then Arjuna goes on to say also that I do not want to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me. So Arjuna is aware that if he doesn't kill the opposite people, the people on the opposite side, those people will kill him. Even despite knowing that, even though he's aware of that, still he's saying that I am not prepared to fight the war. And then he says that I don't want to fight with them, even in exchange for the 3 worlds, let alone this earth. So even the higher and the lower planetary systems. See, the universe has 14 planetary systems. So he's saying even in exchange of the 3 worlds, the higher, middle, and the lower planetary systems, I am not willing to fight this war because I'm not going to get any pleasure. So enjoyment reason. Continues to verse number 35. By what names is he referring to Krishna here?
Govinda.
Govinda. Govinda means what?
The one who gives pleasures to senses, cow, land.
Exactly, yes. So one who gives senses to pleasure, one who gives pleasure to senses, cow, and the land. So one who gives pleasure. So Arjuna is telling Krishna that you are one who gives pleasure. So why are you asking me to do something that is not going to give me any pleasure? So therefore you don't do that because you are Govinda. You are supposed to give pleasure. Don't ask me to engage in a war that is not going to give me pleasure. Therefore he's referring to him as Govinda. Then what are the names of Krishna?
Madhusudana.
Madhusudana. Again, Madhu. So he's called Madhusudana because he's the killer of the demon Madhu. So again, so that he can kill the demon like doubts. More names. One more name.
Janardhan.
Janardhan. Janardhan means?
Maintainer of all living entities.
Yes, he is the maintainer of the living entities. So he's saying, so Arjuna is telling Krishna that you are Janardhan, you are the maintainer of the living entities. How are you asking me to kill them? You're supposed to maintain them, protect them. How are you telling me to kill them? So therefore, he's referring to him as Janardana. Okay, so with this, we'll stop today's class. Krishna willing, we will finish up the chapter in the next session. Here we have photos of what I previously described. When you water the root of the tree, automatically the water is distributed to the rest of the trees. When the food goes to the stomach, automatically it is distributed to the rest of the. So we'll see 36 in the next class. Srila Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavad.
Thank you, Mataji. Jai Shri Ram Mataji ki jai, Shri Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Jai Pataka Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you.
Koti
Thank you so much.
Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for
Thank you,
your
Mataji.
and
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Hare
Do we have
Krishna,
any
thank
questions?
you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any questions before we sign off? Doubts regarding today's class or even otherwise? No?
Koti Koti Dandavat Mataji, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gopinath ki jai. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu vyaivacha. Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo.
Koti Vaishnavam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Jai Shri Ram Mataji ki jai. Thank you, Mataji.
Jai.
Jai Jai.